EFRA 1/8 Off-Road European Championships. We're here thanks, of course, to EFRA and, of course, our very special sponsors, Team Durango and VRC Pro. Waggling the camera, it's Frank McKinney. Pressing the buttons down there, it's James Parry. Oh, I was taking a risk doing that. That's James. And we thought we'd give you a little bonus footage here on Wednesday. What we have is a bit of a wander around. And then what's going to happen, Frank, is that we're going to be they've got kind of a seeding practice. They've had a few rounds of practice and they've reseeded all the drivers. And they all get 2 minutes each to try and see whether any transmitter clashes, where they've changed on the rostrum and all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get Frank to walk through this tunnel here and see if the camera holds up. And if it doesn't, well, who knows? But anyway, so we'll see if we can find people to talk to down this area. Now, as you are walking down to the back of the the back of the old system, what we will see, if Frank actually emerges, and Frank has emerged, is this is the inner sanctum, of the 1/8 Euros. There's a lovely lady there, and there's JQ, and over here we have Kyosho, and see with his back to us, it's Mr. Elliot Boots. Elliot, please come in. Now, Elliot, I have a bit of a worry about you. Many, in fact. The main was, I walked here about 10 minutes ago. You were making loom bands. What's that about?
You caught me. No, we've got a friend of ours. He's making some, so I thought I'd help him out, make some money for him.
It's not some sort of like anti-smoking thing, help you relax. You're very loomed up, you see, you know.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I meditate for my race, so I make loom bands.
So we had a couple of days of practice here. We only turned up about an hour ago, and what we ended up doing was just setting up bits of wire. So how have you found the track? How is it different from 3 years ago?
It's not a lot different really. The layout's very similar. One section's changed. From the warm-up, the track's a lot smoother this time. They've had a bit more rain beforehand, so it stayed quite slick, where before it was a bit more grippy. All in all, it's very similar.
Everyone's saying it's all about tyres. Would you agree?
Yeah, it is. The temperature's going up and down today, so we're up and down with compounds. Having the right temperature with the right compound is the key. Obviously, you need something with a lot of drive, because you've got the steep hills up and down. So yeah, I'd agree with that.
We've got 5 rounds of qualifying tomorrow, but we've got a kind of I think they call it a positioning practice coming for 2 minutes. What's the point of this little kind of run out? Just to work out where you're standing on the rostrum?
I think years ago it was due to radio clearance, but now we run on 2.4. We don't have to really worry about that. So it's down to if you move on the rostrum, get used to the track for 2 minutes, because if you want to stand at one end of the rostrum and then the other, it's different on the track.
And that's especially tricky here with it being a long, narrow track going away from you. The difference between 1 and 12 is massive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter so much for tracks that are the other way around, you could say. This track goes up and down away from you, so it would be quite different.
Thank you very much. So let's carry on stretching the world of the technology. This is Frank. Let me do Frank from. Say hello to your fans, Frank.
Hi.
That's Frank says hello to his fans. Fantastic. It's always good to know. Sitting round here, this is the JQ Emporium, and I'm going to try and actually accost Mr. JQ. There's a camera. Come this way. With mastery of radio frequency. Don't stop. Oh! That's what I like to see, a bit of marketing. He's got his car with him. So against all odds, you've got the biggest stand here.
Yeah.
Is this you kind of embracing the corporate animal? Is it becoming a marketing man and pushing it all out there?
Well, the thing is actually that I only got half of it, because I was supposed to have so much more, but I don't. I don't have my team shirts, no hats, nothing, you know. I have beer coolers. You want one?
He's got beer. Now, this is a very important point. Actually, let's come through for Jake, because one of the things we are very keen about the beer coolers, obviously there is actually beer here. But if we look at the track, and if Frank whizzes round here, the first thing you notice about this track, and it is unique in Europe, isn't it? In its upper hill, and it's narrowing away from you.
And also the driver's stand is at the end, which I don't really understand, but it's the same for everyone, so.
You've always had a bit of a couple of practice. You were here 3 years ago as well. Firstly, is it very different from 3 years ago? And secondly, what do you think is the key here?
Actually, I think it's different now because of the rain. We had rain before the race, so the car's kind of smoothed out the surface. So it's super smooth and it's lower traction than before. So I think many people have to rethink their tyre choice and set up for tomorrow.
Now the track itself looks relatively simple. It's not got a massive American style jumps. It's kind of a bitty and a multi-surface. Is that deceptive, or is it actually quite easy to get round?
I'd say that it's quite easy to get round, but it's hard to get round fast, and that's what everyone's trying to do. And also traffic, that's a big problem. If you catch someone and they don't let you go by, then you can really lose a lot of time. So hopefully the referees are awake. And hopefully I'll be doing the passing and not letting people by.
5 rounds of qualifying. Are there any tactics to it? Do you look at getting bankers in, or do you just go hell for leather from the first round?
I'm just going to go as fast as I can from the first round.
Now, one thing I would say is we have a lot of coverage, hours and hours of coverage, so if you feel like becoming the co-commentator down there at any point, just pop down for 10 minutes and you can say JQ Pro as often as you like, and we'll just get your expertise on the feed. So thank you, JQ. And you can do half fit and finish, because there is a limited number of people listening to. We have a number of Finnish fans actually, but not that many compared to everyone else. Thanks, JQ. Now, that was the back of it. Obviously, product placement extraordinaire, fantastic stuff. This is, of course, RC Racing TV, brought to you by Team Durango and VRC Pro. Let's have a little shifty in here if we can. This is the main pitting tent, as you can see. This is where the magic happens, if magic is making radio-controlled cars go fast. A selection of people here. And I think at this point... hang on, I can see one of the people... Follow me. You got a signal still, Frank? And we've found probably the pre-event favourite, David Ryan-Folk. David, and I see you're live on RC Racing TV. It's amazing what we can do with technology these days. David, a couple of days here. You are the reigning champion. Do you see an easy defence or a big struggle?
No, I wouldn't say easy, because I've seen a lot of guys out there are pretty quick. I think it's a very tight track. Everyone seems to running kind of the same that time, so... Yeah, for sure it's not gonna be easy, for sure not. So, but I just hope I can have some luck, and hopefully I'll be good.
What's the key? Is there any particular key to a good lap, or more importantly, a good 5-minute run?
I think the key here is to make a good 5-minute run. So you don't have to be faster on the best lap time, but if you maybe you can be a half second off the pace, but still go like that average half second behind, or whatever the other guys are using, running for best lap times. But I think if you stay clean, I think it will be all good for semi at least.
Is this event more important or less important because we've got a Worlds come up in 6 weeks?
No, I think for sure I want to defend my title, so I take one step at a time. So right now this is important for me to defend my title, as I said, and but after this race the focus will be on the Worlds for sure here.
David, thank you very much. And David will be out having one of his 2-minute practices in about half an hour's time. So we'll currently see we can meander our way through. We'll wander across now to this is Le Bon France, as you see. And sticking with the European champions, as we must, because that's the role. We're finding European champions gluing his tyres. Excuse me, sir. Oh, thank you very much. It's Renault. Is this your chance finally? After you've not won a European Championship for years, and it's about time you won one, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. We had the Euros there, and then they did a great job. So.
Now you obviously everyone was here. All the top names were here 3 years ago. I mean, is there anything you can take from what you learned 3 years ago on a different car at a different time, or is it a complete reset?
No, when I came here last time, I lost my title. So for me, it's like forgiving right now. No, everything is totally different right now from what it was 3 years ago, for me at least. Some guys kept the same stuff, the same material and everything. So I think they maybe have some knowledge already. But for me, we started from zero at the warm-up when we came 2 months ago. And now it's working pretty good, so we're happy.
Running with the X-Ray chassis, I mean, you've got a reasonably sized team here. I mean, how much work is the team doing to develop the car during the event?
We do a lot of work before the event. During the event, we start with the basic setup, and then we all work on the setup to get the car the way we want. But during the race, if the basic is okay, we are not improving or making crazy stuff during the race. We have huge work before the event to get ready as much as possible. We have a lot of prototype parts to test to make the car as good as possible for the conditions we're going to have for the Euros. And then after that, it's all about testing and racing.
Now, I think we've got the timetable of, uniquely over the last few years. We've got a 1 hour final this year.
Okay, I didn't know.
Well, that's oddly. I looked at the timetable and it said 1 hour final. I thought it's normally 45.
The Worlds, to get ready for the Worlds, we have a 1 hour final. Yeah, that's true.
And you're going to practice for that with some 5-minute practices and a 20-minute semi. I mean, how difficult is it going to be? Especially things like tyre. Are we going to see 8th buggies do tyre changes like we see in 8th track?
I don't think so. I mean, everyone's going to work to get the best tire wear we can get, but you can't get any proper tire change during the final. I mean, even if you'll mechanics are super fast, which is the case with mines. You can't get any faster than 25, 28 seconds to change all 4 tires. So it's better to get maybe harder compound or different tread to get longer life.
5 rounds of qualifying. Is it like, I mean, I asked JQ this, do you start with a banker, do you start slowly and work up, or do you just take it, just literally max it from the go?
Usually when it's clear the first day, at least you know you are in the semi, then you can try different things for the semi already in the last qualifier. So we usually start slowly, keep the car on the wheels, get some points, and then after that we try to push it a little bit further.
Now, you've got many wheels and tyres being made up here. How many sets have you so far mounted up at this event, and how many more sets will you mount up before the end of it?
We tried different tires, different compounds also, so maybe we glued already 6 or 7 sets. We used it during the practices yesterday, maybe two different sets, and today another 2 different sets, just to try the tread and the compounds.
Well, thank you. Good luck and enjoy your very short practice that's coming up later. So let's see, we'll look a bit deeper in. We can see that down that corner there is the British team, which I don't think our camera actually reaches to at the moment. We're going to rejig it, aren't we, Frank? We're going to rejig it. Sorry, I was being a camera here. We're going to rejig it so it's going to get a bit further in. And we'll meander back over here. And I think what I should probably do is Nick ask someone random if they speak English. Now, Frank, you have to make it totally fair. You have to point at the person I'm going to randomly ask. These are Italians, which are a bad side. Go that way, because you've got a 50-50 chance with Germans. This guy. Okay, let's see if we can find out. But do you speak English?
A little bit.
Fantastic. We don't mind that. When we do these walkabouts, we like to talk to everybody. So you're the mechanic for... Who's your driver you're mechanicking for?
My son drives Luca Bethke from Germany.
Luca. Now, Luca, is he here for the experience, or is he here to try and win?
For the experience.
What is the role of the mechanic for one of the middle drivers? Is it a difficult role, or is it just a bit of fun?
It's a difficult role. You must look that everybody works, no is broken. Sonst, because the fahrer, the driver is very bad.
And of course, the most important thing you need to do is actually get the refueling very fast and very efficient. Do you do lots of practicing?
Make the tires, and also the fuel refueling, everything. He's only driving.
It's always easy for the kids, they're just driving. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So we have our first mechanic there. I think, are we stretching technology? Let's see if we can, let's go over here, because it's Team Durango, an ex-Team Durango, and that's our sponsor. So I need to start by talking to Jorn. Jorn, hello. Very glad to see you. I understand you've not been too well, is that right?
Yeah, I was not so good over the weekend, so I stayed at home to be 100% back, and now it's okay.
So you lost a day of practice. We are here thanks to Team Durango. They're sponsoring the RCTV show. So first of all, I have to say thank you to your manufacturer. I mean, how are you feeling? You lost that day of practice, but you're still feeling quite confident about the event?
I think so, because I was here for testing once, and we had here the Euros a few years ago, and also German nationals, so the track only changed a little bit, so I think it's no problem.
Now, we've heard there's a number of new Durango cars coming out. I mean, is this a stock kit machine, or are there a lot of special parts that Gerd's been making for you?
No, this is like the pre-production, and it will come out like this, maybe end of the year, beginning of next year.
I mean, this is the European Championships. In 6 weeks' time, we've got a World Championship. How much work will you be doing after this event and before the event in Italy?
We will do, of course, a lot of work, but the problem is that no one really knows how the track is in Italy, so you don't know what to prepare.
Jorn, Leo, very glad to see you here. We're worried you weren't going to make it. It's fantastic you are here, and you have the best wishes for the team. And as we're getting a much better picture. Sorry, I've walked back one way and back the other way. I'm very unprofessional. It's like I don't know where I'm going. Can you believe that? Now, Hoopo's hiding from me over here. We still need to catch Hoopo as our multi-talented, multi-classed. This must be what, your 1, 2, 3, 4. Is your 5th Euros now? Count. the World Championship in 12th and the World Championship in buggies?
No, if I will do the Worlds, I will only do 12 scale.
And do you think you must be thinking you've got a bit of a chance of that one? Well, as long as someone kicks Naoto in the knee, you should have a chance there.
Well, if everything goes right, I think podium is possible. But if Naoto doesn't crash like 3 times in the main, it's no point. no way.
Now, of course, you're here this year for the first time with the Team C car. I mean, is that a big departure for you? Is the car, as you've got it, very competitive? We had to work on it a lot to increase its competitiveness.
The car I use is pretty much standard. I just use a few lightweight parts. It's working pretty decent, pretty good. I just didn't have enough time to prepare everything because when you switch teams, you have all brand new cars. So I concentrated on 10 scale, which I would say worked out this year. But the 8 scale program suffered a little bit.
Hubo, thank you very much. And it's there's cars in a few minutes, so it's great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Is that as far as you can go, Frank? Okay, right. So in that case, I think we will adjourn back this way. I shall trundle you around through the pits. Never fear, those of you who want to talk to people who are thinking, why aren't they not to be at the back of the pit, the tent? Because we're going to put the transmission on a much higher pole and it'll go much further. We only got it 3 hours ago, it's not bad. So, we'll come back this way. This is the area where you can see who's done what to whom in the qualifying. At the times, it's basically it's pieces of paper. It's not massively interesting, in fairness, but it gives me a chance to wave my hand, kind of. So, and we walk this way, Frank. We're back out from the tent, back onto the track, and see the track will be buzzing with cars in a few minutes. Now, I think there's always a chance if you're going to try and have a conversation with someone, what you should probably do is try and have a conversation with them at the bar. So I'm just going to randomly lean on one of the Team Austrian people here and just see, gentlemen, do either of you two speak English? No. They can say no, but that's, would you therefore like to buy me a beer? Yeah. No, they were, see, it's useful not to know English sometimes, it gets you out of buying someone a beer. A bit more over here, we've got some of the shops here. You can buy yourself a large selection of tyres. Got young Alex. Alex is who's doing the refereeing with Carlos. Alex, so you got a camera in hand. So Alex has got the unfortunate thing of having to stand next to us for 3 days. Are you looking forward to the event, Alex?
Yes, we were here for several times, and the organisation is perfect here. German.
But you're Austrian, so
yeah, we speak the same language, and so it's easy for us here.
So what is your role here? Are you doing some of the refereeing? Are you doing some of the? I know you're doing some noise testing, weren't you?
I do the noise testing. We do the testing for the testing. Yes.
Now I know over in Fairing with the large-scale cars, the noise testing actually was quite controversial, wasn't it? Some people were very unhappy. Is it a case where the noise testing's only just started, or is it this year the maximum number of decibels has come down? What's causing the problems?
We want to go down with the decibels, and so we do some testing, but noise testing is always a difficult thing, and so we want to get some experience and to look how we can do that the cars get a little bit less noisy.
Is there actually, I know for the large-scale off-road events there was actually a limit. Is there actually a limit here, or is it just an advisory limit?
It's a advisory limit. There is a limit in the rules, but normally if you go with a homologated exhaust pipe, you have no problem. We can test if your gaskets are broken or something else, but there is no problem with we don't do any penalties on noise.
Alex, thank you very much. Follow me, Frank. I think we'll wander down here, and then we'll just walk onto the track for a second. We're going to have a quick. Oh, hang on, no, it won't, because we found another star driver has wandered accidentally into our trap of live camera work. Yes, oh crap, indeed. Lee Martin, Lee, nice to see you. Actually, you stayed in the polo net rather than going straight back to the sponsor T-shirt. So, Lee, where do you feel you and the Mugen are at this championships?
We're okay at the moment. Haven't had an awesome run yet. Car feels okay. We're trying to improve it and working out what time we need to be on. I think that's a major thing.
I mean, you've come from doing a lot of 10th, obviously you did the 10th in the Euros, you national last weekend. I mean, is it easy to get your mind back into nitro mode?
I don't think it's not easy. It takes a little while to get back into it and work out what you got to do and how far you can push and how hard you can push. So we're getting there now, though. After a few runs, it's all back to normal.
And this track, of course, is rather different from the others, isn't it? It's not like any other track I've ever seen around the world. It's interesting. Because it just goes up a hill and away from you. It's narrow.
Yeah, it's pretty odd. I mean, all the jumps are kind of towards you, away from you. You can't really make much time on the jumps. You just have to make them. So that's kind of not my style. I prefer to kind of like tracks where it's flowing, in the jump sections you make time and everything can flow into each other, whereas this one's very stop-starty. But yeah, it's pretty different. It's, you know, a lot of different surfaces as well, so you have to get your head around it.
A lot of talk of the tyres are the key thing. Is that what you're finding? Is that going to make the difference between an average run and a good run?
I think so, yeah. That and the temperature when you actually hit the track. I think if the track's a little cooler, it can be a bit faster because it's not so polished. So yeah, we made the mistake of going a little bit too hard on the tyre, which for my style and our car didn't kind of work. So we're going to go to a softer one now and see if it's any good.
Lee, thanks very much. There you go. I know you're not long till you get out there. So. See, we just pounce on people. We're like that. The fastest drivers are going to be out in heats 1 to 6, I believe. We're by 1-5, and they're actually out first. So just for a heads up, we are starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. local, which is 8 a.m. in the UK, and we actually start with there will be 3 rounds of qualifying during tomorrow, and the first cars out will be of that group of top heats. It's not like touring cars where the top 10 end up in the top heat. They mix. They put 5 of the. I think the top 60 are divided around the top 5 heats, and they kind of. Each of the top 5 heats are equally good and equally likely to produce the person who's the fastest of all. It's a methodology making it much easier. So there's the top 60 in the top 5 heats based on practice, of course. If you've had a rotten practice, who knows what could happen? So you're going running backwards. Okay, this is what it's all about. This is the track. Now, the first thing you'll notice is there's a vast amount of surfaces. If you go on the floor now, Frank, we've got dirt. To your right, Frank, what have we got? We've got AstroTurf. You go up a bit. We've got concrete. You go up a bit again, you've got paving slabs. And then over there, you've got some more AstroTurf, you've got a wooden jump. The actual curve, you've got the jump there, that curve for the jump, that's some sort of roofing felt. And then it's all downhill and moving there. Now, actually, they have changed one thing, Frank, and I'm going to point out what it is. Those of you who were here 3 years ago, they weren't here, who saw our coverage 3 years ago, will have noticed that the actual timing line, the timing loop, was here, which meant actually, there's even a green line to show where the timing loop. This is where the timing loop used to be, Frank. And so basically, when your last lap or at the end of the final, you simply just gunned the thing down here and then slammed on the brakes and hope for the best. Now that obviously isn't the safe way of doing it. So what they've done, they've moved the actual timing loop to here. So you actually have to make that final corner. You don't make the final corner. Change for safety's sake. And the other difference is obviously this section here, which is now 5 mini jumps, was 2 big and 1 small. You can hear the engine starting. The people on the rostrum, they're doing their 2-minute warm-ups. We probably need to leave the track now, I think, with 3 minutes to go, Frank, otherwise we're not being run over, which I know some people might want to see. What we're going to do is we're going to actually show a bit of the cars on the track for a few minutes. We won't show the whole hour because it gets a bit tedious, but we'll show about 10-15 minutes of cars on the track. And then we will leave you until tomorrow morning. So as I get back into position, Frank has to remount the camera, so I'm sure what will happen is we'll go on to a static camera shot and I'll carry on talking. And hopefully I'll get the different microphone turned on and wired up. No, he's... So let's keep it looking around. And I can go, hello everybody. And that's it, marvellous. I know, I'm now on the Butcho mic, as it's known. And I'm actually, more importantly, quite close to my beer. So this practice group we'll actually see in position 1, it should be David Ronefalk. It is. And in position 2, Dominic Bauer, Elliot Boots, Ryan Majubi, Lee Martin, Tom Weisner, Antonio Garcia, Brett Killick, Dave Ongara, Ricardo BT, Marcel Guske and Ben Williams are your 12. So those are the people, and that's what's going on. As we just rig up the main camera to show you a bit of action for a few minutes. They only get 2 minutes. They get 4 laps basically, or 3.5, 4 laps. They're pulled off. It's very much a case of just trying to work out what people are doing. Gives us a chance to work out what we're doing as well, which, as many people know, isn't always the other thing. Thanks you to those of you who are commenting on the stream. I mean more beer. And as you can see, our camera's now mounted. So the cars will come out. So there's a couple of minutes before the track opens. They get 2 minutes each just to run around, and we thought you might like to see a bit of car-based action. Always fun. So you can probably hopefully hear the noise of the engines, the roar of the grease paint, the smell of the crowd, all that sort of stuff. And they are getting ready to go. If you look down on the pit lane, as we can see there, just waiting to be released. Ronefalk in car 1, and this is the order they'll go off tomorrow morning. So this is the first heat they'll go off at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So waiting for the cars to be released. They've been very much on the time here, so about another 30 seconds to go before they whoop around. It's Marshall 10 and 11 causing the problem. They aren't here. 12's turned up and appears to be making love to the podium. Off we go, and we're going to get our chance to see the cars out. Let's see, follow car 1 at the front. And that is David Ronefalk, our reigning European champion. So you see Ronefalk now goes round, then he'll go up over the bit of roof he felt and past the box, comes down the hill, sprints down, heavy braking before he turns left. And he's already got 90 seconds to go, so let's see what he now comes in and round onto our cut cam, comes up the hill. And that's Ronefalk. Let's drop back a car to car 3. And that is the machine of Elliot Boots, who we spoke to earlier, but very, very well actually. So 1 and 3. Actually, we're on 5 now. That's Lee Martin. Moving up the hill. So there's only 2 minutes of running, and let's drop back another car, and the next one we're picking up is going up the round. A few seconds to go, and that's car number 4 of Ryan Medjubi. Currently in this short little sprint, not worth anything. The fastest person over a couple of laps is actually Lee Martin. He's got 2/10 over Ronefalk, but obviously this isn't actually of any particular use. And let's try to find someone else. And the next car through is car... Oh, that's it. It's car 10, I think it is, of Riccardo Rabiti. And they'll all be finishing this lap and have to give up. So they've had their 2-minute positioning, and then there'll be another short break for another 2-minute positioning, and we'll go from there. As they run up and down, I can see people, Timo Limo walking beneath me, Yannick Igon. So that was the excitement of the first one. And the battery's still flat on that other one, isn't it?
I'll go sort the cameras out.
So next up, it's Robert Bataille in car 1, Darren Bloomfield car 2, Ricardo Montero in car 3, Ari Heinen in car 4, Federico Sotigesi in car 5, Hubert Honego in car 6, Daniel Reckwood in 7, Marco Barifalo in 8, Borja Hernandez in 9, Timmy Salonen in 10, Federico Ruggieri in 11, and Hal Lopez in car number 12. Now this goes on for an hour, but we're not covering it for an hour. Not on that. But we're going to just show the first 3 or 4 heats through, just to get an idea of what's going on, and mainly so I can say important things, including we do need to remember that we're on air at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's a very important thing. And off goes the Chaos, and out with the car 1, and that is Robert Bataille, reigning world champion. Annoyingly, the time instrument completely blank then. You have to kind of remember who's who the first lap. So Bataille as he goes over the Inferton, turning right. Hops over. Got Bloomfield right behind him. And drop back to Bloomfield. So we just go back one to the Bloomfield. And that's the blue and white car. Darren, of course, the European champion from 2 years ago. Title he won in Fairing, where we were last week for the large-scale off-road Euros. So Ron Fark, the reigning champion. But the car just ahead of him, the car 1, is Robert Bataille, of course, who won here last time, 3 years ago. They splat about a bit. All going up the hill again. All sorts of chaos in what's supposed to be a warm-up. And now it's car 3 who's in second place, which is Ricardo Montero. Well, he's not actually in second place, he's just second in the train. There's no places in this. It's everyone has equal rights and duties. And this is now coming to an end. So the excitement of those 3 minutes of running. Bloomfield comes in. So there's 3 laps. They've stood where they have to stand. They have to stand where their car number is. And they will move around after each final. They'll be standing somewhere else as cars crawl into the pits. Oh, we've got another camera now. Next up will be Heat 3, or Group 3. We'll show Group 4 and Group 5, and then we will knock off for the day. So only 15 minutes or so left before we can just de-rig everything we spent the whole afternoon rigging. So we are RC Racing TV. This is the bonus coverage of the 1/8 EFRA Euros IC starting from Sandown Man. We're here thanks to Team Durango and VRC Pro, and of course thanks to EFRA. Certainly wouldn't be here without EFRA, that's for sure. And there our cars all revving up. Here, ready to go. Actually, here's one point to point out. It does say qualifying round 1, the top corner. It's not qualifying round 1, is it? That's tomorrow morning. Our graphics are ahead of themselves. So it's qualifying round 1 is tomorrow morning. And they are all off. And out they go, and there's some carnage here, and off in position 1 is not, so it's car 2 who's leading this, or has got hit. Oh, one's having a big accident. So the number 1 car, Renault Savoy, had a massive accident. So Jack Embling's leading. Jack's number 2 in this car. Carlos Suarez is 6, Alexander Schnettin is 7, Jonathan Barco 9, Christopher Challen is 10, Sebastian Vincent is 11, Simon Willits is 5, Philip Gusky is started, was a bit silly, wasn't it? So, as we watch coming down the hill, braking hard, it's the number 2 car of Jack Embling, young British driver. And driving at those hills, the multi-surface, comes around the cold area, sinks down hard before again climbing up again. The right-hander before they loop back onto the roofing felt, hop down, land it straight, heavy braking before they make that left-hand turn in front of the driver's rostrum. And at some point tomorrow I'll name these corners. This is the quad here. Take it 2 and 2. They whack in there. So let's drop back one, and that's car 6 is only. But that doesn't really matter an awful lot. This is the 1.5 minute practice. So he turns right, come up to the quad. And they've now finished this one as well. Renault Savoy's car not actually looking particularly good in this one. He's in 3rd, but clutch problem, but I'm not an expert in these things. I can often say they've got a clutch problem, even when they haven't. So that's the end of the very brief, positioning run for Heat 3. So Heat 4 will follow. So as sure as night follows day, Heat 4 will follow Heat 3. And Heat 4 will feature, well, many people obviously, but mainly it will feature Martin Bayer in car 1, Jerome Igon in car 2, Yannick Igon in car 3, Danny Vega's car 4, Jerome Sartella's car 5, Luis Candela's car 6, Martin Kahn is 7, Stefan Baez is 8, William Herbert is 9, Ashley Owen is 10, Jeremy Vitette is 11, and Jan Sievert is in car number 12. So I'd like to thank you all who's joined us. It's very nice of you. And it's all looping. Car 2 had an absolute nightmare there. The Yannick Igon. But away and ahead is car number 1. And he'll come down the hill to rapturous, well, he could come down to someone, go lively standing, leaning on one arm, going, whatever. Already there's 90 seconds of this 2-minute run, and it's Martin Bayer, of course, in that car 1. The man who is a European champion at large scale on-road and 4-wheel drive, 1/10 off-road. So we add this to it, and he did, I think, was he 3rd last? characterising that part of it. But that is our erstwhile pack header. That's Bayer, and then we'll drop back one to Jerome Igon in. Oh, it's Yannick Igon in 3. It was Jerome had the problem. So Yannick was in 3. It was Jerome who had the issue early on. Of course, counts for nothing. This is just a chance to work out who you're with in your heats. There were different people during practice, where you're standing on the rostrum, and beyond that, that's the only point of it. And 30 seconds of this one to go. Most of the guys doing 29. Start of a conflagration of cars in the middle of the track. And that's it for this one. That's the end of practice heat 4. Very exciting, isn't it? So there will be one more. We'll show one more practice heat, and back at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then that's European time, 8 o'clock in the UK, and we start with the top heats, and then we continue on with 3 more rounds of qualifying. We hope to get some guests up to chat their way through what's going on. We'll probably rearrange how everything's set out. I'm saying this to James because he's looking at me going. And there's his cars waiting to whiz through.
You cut to your second camera over there. Nope, there's no audio from you. Only at this.
There's no audio apparently.
If you're cutting on your second camera on top of the hill, there's no audio.
Apparently we've been going silent a few times, but we've now sorted that problem out. So I've been saying things. We've been changing cameras, and I've been going quiet. Is that right? Is that right, James?
Yes.
Which is why we do bonus coverage on a Wednesday. It's not really people watching. It's for us to work out what's going wrong. And now everything is a sound that had to tell us where we were wrong. Why didn't you tell us we were going quiet when we changed the camera? No, I know. I was still talking bollocks, wasn't I? I'm quite loud. That I have noticed. I am quite loud. Okay. Apparently it works now on this camera. That's our super special camera. Look at it. It's super and special. That's why I used to go. That's why I used to go quiet. So probably people listening, oh, it's the Blessed Relief camera, and it goes quiet. Thank goodness for that. So in this heat, Jorn Neumann, the just released from hospital, Jorn Neumann, who's double European champion at 1/10. He climbs up the hill. Right in his tail is the number 2 machine of Carsten Keller. Timo Lino's is 3 in this one. Joe Green is 4. 5 is Yuri Mara. 6 is Hannes Kaufner. 7 is Simo Manimi. 8 is Eduardo Ugon. 9 is Christopher Svensson. 10 is Hao Figueiredo. 11 is Marcus Sandberg. And 12 is David Tortorici. So with a few seconds to go, this one is Carsten Keller doing 3 Finns in second, third and fourth. Linu, Animi and Quad Green. fastest lap is 28.7, so that's a very fast lap by Keller there. Neumann, 29.5. And the race is over, and that is the end of the 5th practice heat. The next people on will be from the middle of the grid. So when these guys drop off, it'll be our chance to drop off as well. And we'll carry on doing setups, and I'll carry on slapping James around the head. No, he's done a very good job. We've got 4 cameras working and a terror deck and all sorts of other things. He's got other little things he's going to work on because the timing screen is still working for another half hour. Yeah. So that is it for us today. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 9 in the morning local time. Europe, 8 o'clock in the UK, 3 o'clock in the morning in New York, and midnight if you're in the west coast of the USA. So quite absolutely fine for a bit of a nighttime fun. Starts in round 1 of qualifying. Obviously, we've got 3 rounds tomorrow, and we will be seeing the top guys out straight away. So from me, from Frank, and from James, it's goodbye. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this bit of bonus stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.